Come on in the room. Come on in the room. We have a topic today. As you see, the title of this video is Where Do You Start When Your Mother Didn't Prepare You for Life? Where do you start when your mother didn't prepare you for life? And before I even get into this, let me just say this video is not about being sad. It's not about feeling bad for yourself because you didn't have the guidance that you needed from your mother. This is really a victorious message. This is really a message for your spirit, a message for your soul, to let you know that if you are listening to this video right now, it is not by coincidence. It is not what do they call it? It's not a conspiracy, right? If this video came across your timeline, or if you search for this video and this video came up, this means it is for you to hear, and there's something in this message for you to take away as you continue on your beautiful journey in this life. Let me just tell you, if no one's told you today, I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. If you never heard that from anyone, hear that from me, and I mean that with everything in me. I'm so proud of you, because the fact that you're listening to this video, it's an indicator that you are looking to move forward in your life and grow, and you know that there is more to your life, and that you're not just a statistic, and that there is something in you that wants to bloom and flourish and become the best version of yourself. There are things in you that nobody knows about. There are talents that you have. There are gifts that you have that nobody knows about. There's a whole personality that you have. You're so comedic and funny and smart, right? And nobody really knows that, right? Because for one, not that many people need to know. They don't need to be all up in your business like that, but you're in development and you're still learning who you are, and you're still trying to figure out how do you show up in this world. And when you didn't have a mother who prepared you for this world, think about it. When you come into this world, you know nothing. That's the, I guess, quote unquote, disadvantage as a child, is that you're kind of at the mercy of your caregiver for a couple of years of your life, because you know nothing. Everything that you gather, you kind of pick up through the household and what was done and what wasn't done. That's kind of how you're taught. But what do you do when you get to adulthood and you realize you were not prepared for the world? Let me tell you, the world is, I don't want to say it's a scary place, but the world has a lot of snares. It has a lot of traps. The world has a lot of obstacles. The world is it unforgiving? Is that the right word to say? The world can be a hard and harsh reality, because you're dealing with so many systems. You're dealing with so many different people and personalities, and you're dealing with people, they come into your life and you're not sure why they're there, and they have their own motives. You're dealing with psychology. You're dealing with health. You're dealing with so many things that happen within the human experience. And what do you do when you had a mother who did not prepare you at all? And you get in adulthood and you're like, oh my God, I had no guidance for this. I was not taught how to move in the world. And you know how I know about this is because this is my story. This is definitely my story. My mother, literally, when I look back on my childhood, did not prepare me for the world at all. And you know how it was done? It was through her silence. It was through my mother's silence. Even though when I grew up, I was very smart, very talented. I had A's in school. A lot of certificates, recognition, graduating the top of my class. Even though I had the book smart, I was very book smart, but I was not taught and prepared for the world. So when I stepped out in the world, it was a big wake up call. And let me tell you, there was a period of time where I was angry. I was angry because I felt like I literally felt, can I be honest with you? I still feel that way. I really, but let me tell you, oh, baby, let me tell you, but it worked out for my good. But I felt, and I feel like I'm like 10 years behind in life. Like I'm still learning things and catching up in life. When you're prepared as a child, those are critical years because for one, you can kind of pick up things faster when you're a child because you're really an empty slate, right? You don't really have a lot of life experience. So all you can lean on is the wisdom of your mother. And if you have a father too. And the reason why I'm specifically dealing with the mother, because the mother wound, I believe it normally hits deeper for a woman than a father wound. Even if you look like I look on TikTok and I really search this topic to see like what people are saying, people's experience. And I noticed that a lot of women, if you notice, a lot of women don't talk about a father wound. How many women do you see on your For You page talking about how their father wasn't there and how, it totally impacted their life? Of course, like not having a father, there are some things that, you also don't learn. But when you actually have a mother present who's not present, it hits a lot harder because your father's not there. Your father's just not there. So there's really nothing lost as much. But when you have a mother there and you're looking for validation and you're looking for emotional security and you're looking to be loved and to be validated and to be praised and to be told you're beautiful and to know that your mom loves you and hear her tell you that she loves you. And then you know how your mom loves you because she gives you wise counsel and she's always telling you, baby, watch out for this. Baby, watch out for this. That's not your friend, baby. That man don't love you. Look, this is how you build your credit. This is how you stay out of debt. Let me tell you about the world. That's how your mother loved you or loves you is that by the type of counsel that she gave you. So what happens when she literally does not teach you anything? For some mothers, there's jealousy against their daughters. And the fact that they don't speak up and warn you about the realities of the world and they just send you out. You graduate from high school and they're like, oh, okay, figure it out. I'm going to live my life. Yeah, checking every now and then, but you on your own. And then you start to get kind of beat up in the world. And then what do you do? And I've spent years figuring this out. And the thing is, you don't know what you don't know. You do not know what you don't know. So where do you start? Or for one, I'm going to plug, I have a book that I wrote. It's called After Survival. And it's talking about the mother wound. And it's talking about, especially for creative women, and it's talking about how to have self-leadership in your life. Like I said, baby, this video is not to be sad about the past. It's not about blaming your mom and talking about how horrible your mom was. What's done is done, baby. But baby, it's time to live and become the woman that you can become. And that's the beauty of it, is that if you're listening to this video, you can turn your life around despite how you started. If you are listening to this video, you can turn your life around despite how you started. And I am an example. And I really want to cry because it's not tears of sadness. It's really tears of joy because I'm so proud of myself. I am so proud of myself because if you saw the trajectory of my family, the women in my family, they had babies early. They, they were hooked on drugs and cigarettes and alcohol, and, marriage was not a big thing in my family. And, the women in my family didn't strive for much. They didn't. And I knew I did not want to be like that. I knew. And I remember even at 16, I didn't understand. I didn't understand this prayer, but I would always pray to God. I was like, God, please, I do not want to be like my family. And I didn't understand the magnitude of what I was praying, but baby, I was setting myself up for success because I saw the result. I saw the result and I knew I did not want that result. So I fought with all the knowledge that I had. I fought. And I said, God, I do not want to be like my family. And it's no shade to my family. I love my family. I forgive my family. But baby, that was not it. That was not it. And I think that was kind of putting things in motion for me. And that's when I talk about my music and stuff like that. That's when I leaned in to my music, the things that I did know. I knew how to be smart in school and I knew music, and I leaned into that and until I could make sense of what the heck was going on with my life, and understanding like what I didn't get. And the main thing was realizing that it wasn't my fault. That it was not my fault. Whew. I wasn't and again, these are just tears of just joy, and it's just so powerful. And I know if I can come out of that, if you're listening, you can come out too. I don't care what your mom did to you, if she wasn't there, if she didn't prepare you for the world. I do not care. You can be amazing. You can change the trajectory of your life. And you're listening to this video for a reason. And if you made it this far through me crying, then that lets me know that you're about that life, baby. You're gonna level up, and I believe in you. I believe in you because I did it. And if I can do it coming out of a single parent home, family jacked up, my mom's relationship with her mom was jacked up. There was a lot of secret stuff happening in the family behind the scenes that I didn't become aware of until later. I know if I can make it through that, you can make it. You can make it, right? And the main thing is like, where do you start? Because you don't know what you don't know. And I remember, like, especially when I went off to college, and when you see like other girls, you start to notice a difference. Like I noticed like the women who were mothered and sometimes fathered, they had a different confidence about them. They had a different level of understanding of the world and how things worked. They knew basic things of like keeping up keeping up your place, and like little things that you don't realize weren't taught to you until you're exposed to it from other people. And I'm like, oh. And then when you do have friends, they're asking you questions like, oh, you don't know about this, like oh, no one taught you this. Or if you somehow get a mentor and your mentor starts showing you things, you realize like, oh my God, my mom didn't teach me this. Like I don't know this. Why don't I know how to do my hair? Why don't I know about like credit? Why don't I know about men? And be grateful. Like if you blossom later in life, be grateful, because I was really protection, because I would say like in my early years, I wasn't a baddie. Like I was okay. Like if I really wanted to pull somebody, I could pull somebody. But I kind of liked that I was so nerdy and people couldn't really understand me. And I could switch from like tomboy to kind of girly. Like if there was an event, like I could get girly when I would go to like the all-star after parties and stuff like that. But I had like a little tomboyish way to me. And I was really locked into like my music. So I love that guys ignored me. Like guys didn't really pay me attention. And I didn't have many boyfriends. And now that I look back, I'm grateful for that, because I didn't know what to do with them. Like I think I would have just messed my life up more if I would have been more visible and like more guys tried to talk to me. I don't think I had the wisdom to really discern like what would be healthy for me, what would, or, what would be a distraction or lead me down the wrong path. And I'm grateful. And I'm not saying I didn't like mess around with guys or nothing like that. Don't get it twisted. I had my little thing, but I loved how I wasn't as visible, and it served as a protection. And then there was a season where, you know, I knew like I was like, where do I start? So I went to the church, and I thought, well, maybe if I go to the church and, I just link up with the women, I can get me a mentor, and I can just have a woman just teach me how to be a woman. What is womanhood? Like, I really wanted to know. And then I ran into an issue. Is like, the more I tried to like find a mentor in the church, it was like the women were jealous of me. And I'm like, how are you intimidated and jealous of me? Because baby, first of all, I was very, and I still am, but I was very serious about God. And, I was very, when it came to things of God, I was like, I would check people. I'd be like, nah, we got to do this right. This is for God. We got to represent. And I don't know if that vibe for me was intimidating to some women. So I was running to the church trying to find someone to mother me and fill in the gaps, only to find that they were jealous of me. They tried to sabotage me. I thought they cared about me more than, I thought they cared about me, but it was just a lot of games. And I'm just like, I just want to be mothered. Show me how to be a woman. Like, can you help me fill in the gap? So I don't know if that's some of your story. Like, you really tried to find help. You tried, you thought you could trust people. You thought they had your best interests at heart. And then now you're back at square one, and you're like, where do I start? What do I do? Right. And like I said, I felt behind. Do you feel behind? Do you feel like you're late in life? I used to, I'm going to be honest with you. I used to cry. Like, I used to just randomly cry, and I would think about like, man, I should already know certain things. Why don't I know these things? Why are these things so hard for me? Trying to do this in my adulthood. Like, I should have been taught this. Like, how did I let this happen? I should have known better. And I would feel bad for myself. And, I felt like everyone else got a manual and I didn't. And I was like, man, where would I be if I had a mom who saw how talented I was and really pushed me even harder, And after a while, it's okay to think like that. But after a while, you have to make a decision. You have to decide, do I want to stay living like this? Do I want to stay in this torture? Because it becomes torture after a while. Because how long can you replay that narrative and it not wear on your mind? And then you're more depressed. And then it starts creeping into other areas of your life. And then it's just a downward spiral. But I know that if you're watching this video today, you're watching this because you want to make a change and you want to shift. So let me tell you about preparation, right? Preparation isn't just about a bunch of rules or chores that your mom should have gave you. It's about the emotional guidance that you needed. It's about teaching you how to make decisions, giving you a decision-making model. It's about getting wisdom from your mom. It's about being in a safe place to ask questions. Think of the times where you were young and things came up and you wanted to ask your mom, but y'all don't even communicate. Y'all didn't even communicate like that. And then you knew if you asked her a question, she would assume that you're trying to get into something or you're doing something bad, right? And some mothers, they show up physically, but they just don't transmit life knowledge. They don't. And this isn't about attacking our mothers. It's about being honest about what wasn't passed down. And when I got on TikTok and I saw how many women are going through this, and I was like, oh my God, I'm not the only one. I said, I wrote a book because I said, I want to help as many women as possible, especially creatives, and share my story and give them hope. Give them hope. So again, exactly. I'm about to give you, okay, so you know what I'm going to do? Let's just make this a part 1. And then I'm going to transition and we're going to do a part 2. All right, I'll talk to you later.